My name is Paul Swain. I'm the Racecourse Association's Race Day Experience and Communications Manager. The accessibility project came about following the 2022 Quality Assured Racecourse scheme. We learned from that scheme that some racecourses were falling below the standards that they set and we would expect from venues to look after all customers on that day. So the Racecourse Association was one of the founding signatories of the British Racing D&I commitment. As a consequence, we want to put action behind those words, and this project is a great example of that. We're assessing all racecourses who opted in to look at their venue accessibility, and that covers physical and mental disability. When we looked at the project and how it would be funded, we looked at who had the same values as the RCA and racecourses with this project. The Racing Foundation was a clear fit. They shared our values for promoting racegoers' experience and for diversity and inclusion across the sport. Accessibility is so important to growing the sport of racing. We know that customers want to come and have a good day out. Racecourses are on pretty much every day of the year. Therefore, we've got to be open and accessible to anyone who wants to visit. The more we can do that with projects like this, the better. Following the audits, the racecourses receive a full report of the day and they go through that in detail with the assessor, and it scores every single part, and it allows the racecourses to make an itemised list of what is going to happen in the short, medium and long term. And the adaptations will take place over a long period of time from now on, because as you can imagine, some of them are quite large pieces of work, some of them are really simple and can be changed. So we've already seen things like new counters installed at bars, we've seen colour contrast paints installed in toilets, we've seen hearing loops installed where they weren't there before. So there's plenty of things that are going to happen, and there's plenty of things that have happened already thanks to these reports.
My name's Matt Jones. I work for the Racecourse Association as the Race Day Experience and Communications Executive. So far we're 1 year into the 3-year accessibility project. 54 racecourses have had Race Day experience assessments from Live Tourism. A further 12 racecourses have received structural audits from Level Playing Field. These really get to the bricks and mortar of the racecourse.
My name is Liam Johnson. I'm the Executive Director for Royal Windsor Racecourse, part of the Arena Racing Company, and I was involved with the audit that took place last year and was very involved with the feedback after and the action plan designing as well. Accessibility for me is very important in terms of the access to the site, of course, and the audit itself helps you actually highlight some of the things you don't always think about. So it's quite easy from a racecourse perspective not to notice some of the nuances and some of the practicalities of accessibility. So really important to us that we actually was able to highlight and of course make some improvements as well within that. So Royal Windsor Racecourse did score the highest score, I believe, in ARC. Not that I'm competitive, but also obviously within the industry we scored a very reasonable score. And I think partly because of that is the staff training that we do. So we hold a workshop before the season starts and we talk to all of our staff, whether it's security or the cleaning staff or gate staff, and we talk to them about the importance of accessibility and also for them to know exactly where things are located, simple things, the nearest toilet facilities, the nearest betting facilities, bar, etc. And I think those sort of quick wins are quite easy to get over the line. It's something that really helped to score that high score. So following the audit, obviously always highlights areas of improvement. I think that's very important. So part of the action plan that we have numerous things to invest in around the site. So simple things again, such as the facilities that we have in the washrooms, ensuring that we have reachable cords, ensuring that we have the right communication, and also ensuring that it's actually controlled and managed in the right way, because on a race day it can be quite busy, and if people are trying to access the washroom facilities that are accessible and there are queues in certain areas, it's keeping them clear. So it's sort of simple things to sort of make improvements. Around the actual site itself, again, sort of simple things such as the surface, so it's ensuring that if there are potholes they're actually they're sort of repaired, and the track viewing for accessible, which is right on the finishing line behind me here. It's really important it's kept clean, maintained at all times, and it again policed accordingly.
So my name is Jacob Pritchard Webb. I was a former jump jockey and suffered an injury which put me in a wheelchair, and my involvement in the accessibility audits that were done last year through the Racing Foundation and RCA was to go around with Mandy Lane of Live Tourism and actually take part in the audits and give almost like a bird's eye view of what it was like for me and my experience of being in a wheelchair at the racecourse was like. So the process for the audits would be we turn up as gates open, kind of unannounced. They didn't know we were going, but it's so that we could get the best possible view of as if we were an ordinary general admission racegoer. And we would turn up and kind of review the grounds and how easy it was for somebody like myself to get around. And then we would look at every individual disabled toilet and the access to it, the signage to it, what the facilities were like in it, your red cords, etc., from a safety and point of view. And then going on to what kind of experience we had, how easy was it to get a drink, and how easy was it to watch the races from the viewing platforms that they had or didn't have on offer. And we would make notes of this and take photos and come up with a summary at the end of the day that we then relayed back to the racecourses with a face-to-face meeting 2 weeks later. So it was a real thorough day. I think it's important that the racing looks at these issues of accessibility and tackles it head on, because we as in the media and racing people put racing on a pedestal as being one of the most popular sports in Britain. You know, probably behind football. It's highly betted on, it's watched by thousands of people daily. And if we can't cater for a certain amount of people, well then we're not doing a good enough job as an industry.
The overriding aim for the project is to remove barriers so that racing and a day at the races can be enjoyed by everyone.